Really, I mean, back in high school, like I said, there was that little fork in the road, so it was always an option for me. My grandmother was a teacher. She taught at Binghamton. She taught English. So I would hear stories from her all the time of kids and her successes and failures as teachers and how she would use those together. But really, I was so interested in teaching because of the teachers in my high school, right? My teachers that I gravitated to, I used them as inspiration in my teaching. I love the kind of open-endedness that I'm allowed to teach to, right? So like I said, there's not one answer to really anything that we do in our department, right? I love the creativity that the kids bring in. I could ask one question out into a room of 20 kids and I'd get 20 different answers back, right? And they might be funny answers, but that's what other kids feed off of, right? Is just kind of opening their minds to that and knowing that, yeah, you might be wrong in this one answer, but you're gonna take that incorrectness and you're gonna apply it to the next question and kind of feed off of that, and we'll get you to the right answer. One of the right answers, right? My favorite aspect of teaching is really the buy-in that I get from kids, right? We do a lot of cool things in our department. This year, for the first time, we built a class full of guitars, of electric guitars. All right, so I had a room full of 14 freshmen. They came in and I said on day one, all right, this class is 20 weeks long, and by the end of those 20 weeks, you'll have an electric guitar. And it took them like maybe 8 or 9 weeks to wrap their head around that. Like they might have thought, oh, we'll create a 3D model of a guitar, we'll have a virtual guitar that we might be able to play. But then by week 8 or 9, when we went down to the wood shop and I said, okay, let's start gluing up some wood, we'll get it onto the CNC machine, we'll start cutting. Then they were like, oh shoot, this is starting to take shape here. So to answer your question, really, is like all of the creativity, I'm allowed to be as creative as I want to be, right? To take one concept and say, hey, I can teach that in 4 different projects, right? And I can go as big or as small with those projects as is needed, really. So that's probably my favorite aspect is all the different creative projects that we can do, and then also the buy-in from those kids that are like, wow, that is really cool. My main answer to that is skills. I want my kids to take skills from my class. Whether those are technical skills, whether they become like really good 3D modelers or really good floor plan designers, that's really great. But also those, people call them soft skills, right? Like how to approach somebody with a tough task, and how to talk with somebody, and how to be a good team worker in a group of workers. Those 21st century skills, I guess people call them too, right? So I want them to gain skills. That's my main priority. But then I also want them to know that you have somebody here that if you're struggling with something and you can't find somebody that is in your corner or that will back you, I'm a teacher. We're always there for our students, right? Like I said before, these are like my children, right? And if I go home and I'm talking to my wife, I'm saying, hey, my kids today did this and this and this, right? So they're almost like family to me. And I want them to know, like, hey, I'm here for you, and I'm gonna strengthen those skills for you as much as possible. And in the same respect, build our relationship together, so that, you go out into the world knowing that, you have that support and you now have those skills that builds a hopefully complete person.